I ever owned, and it's Blair's Park Life, and I've chosen Bank Holiday.
Oh, thank you very much. What a blast from the past. Yay, Britpop! Just trying to get us back in those glory days. Sammy's musical choice, Blur, Bank Holiday, from, of course, the classic Park Life album. We'll be back after the news with live music from Teddy Thompson.
On digital.
From 1997, the Sundays and Summertime. Steve Show, 6 Music with me, Steve, Merchant and my gang here. The whole mob is here. Live music to come from Teddy Thompson, and we're looking forward to that enormously. He's going to be with the guitar, singing. You know, it's what a lot of singer-songwriters do now.
Are we going to be able to join in like last week?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, it's all that was all getting a bit. I don't know. I felt like we were a bit off the mark, weren't we? We weren't really on the money.
Yeah, probably.
Did we provide? I didn't listen back. I think the listen again service was not available.
No, it was busted due to the naughtiness.
Yes, there was some. If you didn't tune in last week, there was some profanity from hip hop star Paris, and apparently that meant that the show was never allowed to be listened to again by anyone ever. It was instantly burnt.
Every other 1 minute.
But it will go down in legend because of that.
Oh, it's the Great Lost Show already. People are saying it's the Great Lost Show.
Anyone who did tape it in the old school 1980s way.
Copies are changing hands on eBay for upwards of £1.
£4, yeah, sure. Really, only because when I looked, when I bid £4 for it.
Well, I think it's actually being sold as a blank CD,
Sure.
but it happens to have a recording of the show on it.
Sure. Yes. No. So anyway, so sorry if you wanted to use the listen again feature, apparently, but the technology doesn't provide that. The reason I play the Sundays, obviously, it sort of feels a bit like the summertime. Seemed obvious, didn't it? I mean, it's a bit. No, it's a bit. I know. Sunday. I mean, it works on so many levels.
Yeah.
But I don't like normally to take a sideways look at the week's news on the show. But that story about the woman on the plane, or the 2 women on the plane. Because I often have to sit by the emergency exit. Being as I am gargantuan, I can't fit in the regular seats. I have to get there 4 or 5 hours early so I can get the extra leg room.
Are you fully conversant with the operation of the doors?
I've read the manual. I've read the.
They always ask you, don't they?
Always ask me. And
What did these women do?
Well, they were on a flight coming back from somewhere, Greece was it? And they tried to open the emergency exit whilst in the air. And when I read the story, I was instantly reminded. I just suddenly thought of one of those classic Ronnie Corbett monologues, where I think he starts off by saying he was on a plane to Torremolinos, and the in-flight movie was so bad I walked out. I was thinking, oh, Ronnie, what you like? But then I thought about the serious side of it. And it is a serious lesson, but it's so typical, that kind of the English abroad, endlessly embarrassing ourselves. There's a whole article in the paper about the English abroad, about how 15 English tourists were abroad charged with lewd behaviour after participating in an open air. I can't even say it, but it involves the words oral and sex and contest. So
there goes next week's list.
Oh no! Once again, I'm even worse than Paris. But I've never really done the club 18 to 30 holiday thing. I can't imagine you have, Rufus. Surely you're super posh.
Steve, I'll surprise you here, but sometimes when boys go to a boarding school, they like to let their hair down a little bit.
Whoa!
So after my A-levels, I went to
which I presume you flew through your A-levels.
Yeah, they went all right.
Yeah.
But
So modest.
They went all right. Was it 3 A's?
No, 2 A's and a B.
Ooh,
bit gutted about the B.
Fill the bird.
Gutted about the B. I had the B remarked actually, and then 2 months later,
your father wrote a letter to the governor of the school,
and then I got it confirmed as a B 2 months later, which was nice. That's a bitter tang of defeat, that one. But no, it wasn't.
Let it go.
I do. It's a really bad time. It wasn't a proper 18 to 30 kind of dirty, knickers kind of holiday.
Knickers holiday.
Dirty, knickers kind of holiday.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I really. Yeah. But it was in someone's villa actually. But we did go to the nasty little clubs at about you'd go there at 2 in the morning and not leave till kind of 7. And some of the things I saw do make me ashamed to be British.
Really? They make you ashamed to be British because you're so proud of being British.
Well, every day, Steve, I wake up and thank the Lord that I was born in England, But
saluting the flag.
Exactly.
It's dirty Union Jack knickers.
What sort of lewdness did you say?
Well, just kind of, what do you think? Just dirty, bad behaviour in the dirty corners of nasty, bad little nightclubs. Not just drinking, but activity, bodily activity that wasn't wedding night, excitement.
I love the fact he's trying to keep this clean, and it's just even more filthy.
I know, it's
I've
getting
never
worse
heard
and
the
worse.
word dirty used so often.
Activity on a beach, which which you wouldn't see in the brochure in the sandals brochure. Just filthy, vile, dirty
Dirtiness.
behaviour. Yeah.
Anyone else? Because I don't even know what you mean. I've never witnessed a wet T-shirt competition. I've never seen any kind of games where you have to pass fruit between almost naked legs.
No, I've never been involved in any of that kind of.
I think that's a game. Sorry, I just made that up.
No, that is true.
That's
Well, you
okay,
can do
yeah.
an orange
With
under
the
the
orange
neck
under the
to
chin.
under the neck.
Yeah.
No, that thing with the reps screaming at you to drink more and all. I've never done any of that. That would be. I mean, that is absolutely terrifying to me. That and kind of being involved in an African coup or being wrongly imprisoned in America somewhere.
Dan, have you done the?
I've participated, yes, and I didn't quite have the same sense of detachment as my elder and better Rufus did. I did it once back in the late 90s. Went to Greek island with some friends.
You threw
from
yourself in,
home.
did you?
You have to, because if you're not part of it, it will drive you nuts. But it was great fun for a bit. And I never want to do it or speak about it ever again.
Sammy, you're very much of the modern youth generation. What's happening holiday-wise?
I did go clubbing in Ibiza once, but it was with my dad. So
That's extraordinary.
that does take the edge off it a little bit.
That's quite remarkable. Was he going properly mental while you were saying, Dad, drink water? You've got to stay hydrated.
We got a taxi back to the apartment at like 4 in the morning. We're both eating apples and rocking back and forward. I can remember that quite vividly. But yeah, it was quite a good time. I don't think I'd ever go on an 1830s holiday, probably because I can't drink. I'm allergic to alcohol.
course.
So I couldn't join in. So I think I'd probably miss out on a lot of the fun. So I think it's just going to be cruises and fine dining for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I went to Mexico, but I was about 28, so I was, a bit world-wise, bit experienced. Wasn't going to do stupid stuff. First day, we got in the pool. We landed about 11 a.m. We were in the pool by about 1 in the afternoon. We were playing water polo and stuff, and we were drunk and sunburnt within about 25 minutes, and it kind of ruined the holiday.
Typical English. You are typical scum, aren't you?
But we did go to Chichen Itza to see the big old Mayan ruins, so we didn't completely slum it.
Well done.
We have to, before we continue, we need to quickly get a musical choice because you know what it's like, 4 minutes of chat
Yeah.
and the BBC's up in arms.
That's right. Well, Steve, years before Rage Against the Machine were angry about the world, and years before we saw Lily Allen in a pink dress at Glastonbury sticking it to mortgage lenders. Do you remember?
Yes, yeah.
God, she was cross with those mortgage lenders. Julian Cope was furious about the man. And this is the classic retro World Shut Your Mouth.
That's Rufus's musical choice on this week's show, and you don't need to tell us what it was, Rufus, but you may as well.
It was Julian Cope. I can't remember if that was not in his Teardrop Explodes days, I think, but that was Your Mouth.
We've had musical suggestions from many of the gang here. A lot of people are obviously looking forward enormously to Harry's. Man who prides himself on his eclectic taste. And anyway, that doesn't stop you, the listener, getting in touch and recommending tunes yourself. And someone who has done just that is on the line. It's Belinda.
Hello.
Hello, all right?
Yes, thank you.
Where are you calling from?
I am near a place called Bideford. I'm in between Bideford and Barnstable.
Is that where you live?
No, I live in Nottingham, but we're going on holiday today.
Where are you going?
Bude.
Oh, you are rocking it.
Bude's great.
Rocking it,
I've
Bude way.
never been to Cornwall before. I'm quite looking forward to it.
Never been to Cornwall?
No.
Have you watched Straw Dogs? Don't. Just don't. That's all I'm saying. No, it's a lovely place that you will have a whale of a time. Spend a lot of happy years in Cornwall.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. And the sun's shining. It's going to be fantastic. Who are you travelling with?
My fiancé Matthew.
Oh, God bless Matthew. Round of applause. When are you going to get married?
Yeah. He was pleased he got round of applause. I beg your pardon?
When are you going to get married?
It's a bit of a sticky point, really.
Oh, dear.
We got engaged about almost 2 years ago, and we haven't got around to setting a date yet.
Oh, is he having cold feet?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, I wish we hadn't had this conversation because you're in a car now for another hour or so, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to lead to some tricky conversations.
Sorry about that. Still.
It'd be quite awkward, with separate rooms on the holiday, because that must be more expensive than if you were a married couple taking the one room.
Of course, exactly, yeah.
As the BBC, we take a very firm line on things like that.
We were just talking about kind of decadent Club 18 to 30 style holidays. I suppose that's in your past?
No, it's not really my scene, the old 1830s.
But when you were 18 to 30?
old do you think I am? Do I sound really old?
No. But if you're getting married, you've got to be, what, 30? No one gets married
27.
anymore before that age, do they?
Maybe that's why we haven't got around to setting a date. We're only 27, so...
Listen, I don't want to... Whenever you finally do make the arrangements, should we buy a hat? No? Okay, all right. Fine. I didn't want to presume. So what musical choice have you made for us?
I sent in a little email last week saying you should listen to a song called Unioshi Rocks.
Okay.
I'm from Nottingham, and it's by a local band in Nottingham, and I think it sounds quite cool, so I thought you'd like it.
Thank you very much indeed. Do you know anything about the band?
There's 3 of them. They're from Nottingham, and they quite like Lemon Jelly and Beck and those kind of things.
Okay.
And I think their music represents that a little bit.
All right, fantastic. We'll have a listen to the tune. We'll talk to you in a second. Stay there.
Brilliant.
All right,
Okay.
you argue with your fiancé, and we'll listen to the music.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh, there's all sorts of friction in that car now. Wouldn't like to be there. That's Belinda's choice, Unioshi, and the tune is Unioshi Rocks. Belinda, you still there?
I am.
Just so you can impress people when they ask you about this, Harry's got some information about Unioshi. He's just looked up on the web.
Yeah, well, I went up to the Six Music New Music Terminal, which is a lot like GCHQ in Cheltenham, but just for new music. Now, Unioshi are unsigned. They're from Nottingham, as you know. They're named after the character played by Mickey Rooney called Mr. Unioshi in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, that's a deeply offensive character. That's an outrageous character, if you've ever seen that.
The track we just heard is from their first release, EP1, from last year. EP2 is out now. They've had 2 tracks on ads to sell cars, and you can find out more on them from their MySpace page, www.myspace.com/Unioshi.
Okay, Belinda, so are you ready for the questions I'm going to ask you now about that? You've heard all that information. Here comes the questions. What's their MySpace page? EP1 was released when? No, it was a cracking tune, Belinda. Thank you very much indeed, and we wish you very well with the wedding, obviously.
If it happens,
Yeah, if indeed it happens. Who knows? You might, while down in Bude, you might, leave maybe your husband gets ill, your fiancé, I should say, gets ill. He has to stay in bed while you you meet a hunky Cornish fisherman. Who knows?
I do like fishermen.
Exactly. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love a lovely? I don't want to get that disgusting. Yeah, if that does happen, get in touch. Let us know how it all goes.
I will.
It's a great choice. So thank you very much indeed, Belinda, and have a
Thanks
lovely
for playing
holiday.
it. All right, take care.
All the best, my sweetheart, my
Bye.
loveler. I'm just trying to sound a bit kind of corny.
Loveler.
My loveler.
What's a loveler?
Oh, loveler. You not heard loveler? Come on,
Loveler.
grow up. How do you get in touch, Harry, if you have a musical choice?
Well, what you do, Steve, you go to the Six Music website, bbc.co.uk/Six Music, with all its exciting new fonts from the revamp. You'd find the homepage for the Steve Show, and you click on the recommend a track thing.
Thank you very much indeed. Beautifully done by an absolute pro. Before we hear a tune from Mason Jennings, we were talking about the woman who tried to open the jet door at 30,000 feet, and we had one of those. I don't normally refer to the kind of snide texts and emails.
We get a lot.
We do get a lot, I know. And if I talked about them all, then we'd never get to any new music. But someone's just texted in. It was the cockpit door, dumbass. Well, I'm sorry, whoever that person is. Number ending.
Anonymous texter ending 75.
But I'm only basing my information on the front page of the Observer, which refers to it as an emergency exit. So I do apologise that unless I'm presuming that person, the only way they can know it was the cockpit door is if they are actually the drunken woman who did it. So well done, you vodka swilling dumbass. From the album called Bright as Midnight by Circuits, that's City of Lights, and prior to that we had Mason Jennings from his new album In the Ever, and that's Fighter Girl, and we've got live music coming shortly from Teddy Thompson. Looking forward to that. So let's without further ado get a choice from Harry. You get so excited about your obscure little treats, don't you?
I do get excited. The entire week for me leads up to this. I'm working hard all week in the bank. Numbers and stuff, bits of paper flying around. It's complicated, but all the time in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what tune I'm going to bring in, and this is